10. Looks like Sean Nicholson. No, let it go. Oh, Saunders back in the pack. Six sponsors. Donovan's in it. Sean English is in it. Oh my God, are you? Caution! No way. Or he's gonna dive bomb him. Here he goes. He's gonna try a bomb. All the way to his bumper. Can he shove him? Can't do it. Dylan Orr is gonna win it here in Iowa. Bump and run! Oh, he's done this before!
Bump and run to 61 to the inside. Can he make it work? He's got it.
Inside he's 0-2. He's sliding! Oh, Burrows is around! Oh, the wrecking right in front of him. That's Mogren.
Jones is a great run on the high side.
Drive off the corner and...
They're gonna be side by side. This is gonna be a photo finish 3 wide out the wire. And that's the stripe. It's gonna be Ruggles! Oh my God, what a finish! iSCAR is in. We're up and away. Green flag.
61, Dominic Howell.
Oh, he gets hooked! Oh my God! Hard as the wall! Huge track on the start finish line. Who comes out on top?
Dallas Myhan wins.
Dallas Myhan wins it! What? Let's make quick work of that number 9 of Eric Andrews. Andrews washes up the racetrack. Oh, let's go! Oh no! Oh! They're gonna be wrecking! That's the big one! Oh my God! Connor's involved! They're still wrecking! One, 0. And we welcome you here live for the iSCAR Super Late Model Series here at USA International Speedway. My name is Ezeckiel Reyes.
And I'm Dewey Schramm. Welcome to the broadcast.
It should be a fun one from start to finish as we get ourselves set up for 100 laps here at the famed Rookie Speedway. Currently, just about 2 minutes remaining in practice. We'll go ahead and pull up our things on the left-hand side of the screen. The drivers are currently screwing around because we're nearing the end of practice. But as of right now, looking pretty interesting on who's running up front. Mulrooney, got all sorts of people. Webster. Well, we're here at a short track, and it's going to be a classic 100-lapper. 100 laps of short track racing in a super late model. First time these drivers have ever used these cars. Should be interesting on how everybody will filter out to the top here for tonight.
Well, I'm looking at the top of the leaderboard right now, and you've got a clean sweep of the top 3 for proximity racing drivers with Aaron Mulrooney, Donovan Strauss, and Alex K. Grates. So proximity just came off of a win this weekend. Aaron Mulrooney won the Cup race at Richmond, so looks like the team's got a lot of momentum coming into this race as they've got 3 drivers right up near the top of the leaderboard, and oh my goodness.
Yeah, just drivers, you know, taking their bits and pieces all over the place. So we're currently working on 58 seconds remaining. I am having a bit of ATVO issues right now, so we'll get that situated once we go to step ourselves to the side here just in just a moment. So you are watching the iSCAR USA 100 for the iSCAR Super Late Model Series. Currently, Mulrooney rounds out the top. Strauss in second, Grates in third, Webster, Quan, Kinney. How about we'll focus in on that number 6 machine, Blaze McKinney. That is not him, but as I said, my ATV is having issues right now. how about Blaze running in the 157? He is. Oh, he's actually dropped to 13. No, well, actually, no. My ATVO is being weird. We'll scoot ourselves to the side, play the national anthem. So rise out, remove your hats as we salute our nation's colors. Zero. But now just joining us here for tonight, we welcome you here live for the USA 100 as we get ourselves set up for this 100 lapper. 75 laps. I mean, not 75 laps, but 75 miles going to be logged in for tonight. Race analysis is going to be shown on the right-hand side of the screen. We will have a pit window. It will be small, though, but watch out for that pit window because these drivers are going to have to pit at least once here for tonight.
I must point out the fact that you just spelled my name wrong in the commentator list, but
oh yeah,
we'll move on from that. But
oh no, there we go. Did I get it right now?
There you go.
Yeah.
as the drivers continue to log their laps here and get situated for the race, Donovan Strauss, you're currently your pole sitter, and as I say that, Aaron Mulrooney jumps up to the top. So just like the proximity drivers were strong in practice, here they are in qualifying, showing their strength still.
Yep, and you see that number 2 machine. We've seen him in a victory lane a couple of times. Had a victory at Bristol Motor Speedway in the Cup car. And as you said, the victory last week, the Saturday race at Richmond. So the short track king, I guess you could semi-call him for right now. We'll see if he picks up another one here for tonight.
And as I said last week, with short tracks could potentially become short tempers. We didn't see a lot of that at Richmond, but in super late models, you see it in real life all the time, especially with guys like, Steven Nasse and Bubba Pollard. If you watch any real life late model races, things can get really heated in races like this, so watch out. Potentially at some point tonight, we might have some fireworks going on.
Right, this is the first time these drivers have been, are on a super late model. Me personally, I wish I could see a super late model race. They had one down up in IRP, which is now called Lucas Oil Raceway. But any known late model races around your area?
I would think they have some at Seekonk, because that's like basically the only racetrack in Massachusetts. But I would assume they'd probably have some in Thompson or Stafford too.
Oh yeah, definitely,
sure
definitely in Stafford.
If I looked, I could find some to go to, whatever.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of races up in Stafford that they run. I think, I don't know any tracks around here via South Carolina because I'm relatively new around here, but I think Greenville Pickens is in South Carolina.
Outside of probably there and maybe Myrtle Beach, they probably run them there too.
Oh yeah, Myrtle Beach, definitely. They run the Myrtle Beach 150.
Yeah.
But I think that's a late model race rather than a super late. I'll have to see. They're running that soon, actually.
Well,
I might even
they
jump
have-
by and go.
They have late model in common, so
Right. I mean,
they can't be that far off, right?
yeah, except the power. The power under the hood is definitely different because the crazy thing is these super late models, they run faster laps at Martinsville than the Cup car. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Well, if you do what I do and you run an early model, you'll run even faster laps than late models.
No, shut up. No more words from you.
Okay, bye.
The time expires on the board, and congratulations to the number 2 of Aaron Mulrooney, who will log himself to up into the pole. So the starting order going to be shown in front of your screen. But before we show that, Dewey, take us down with the weather.
I am meteorologist Dewey Schramm with your race day forecast here in Lakeland, Florida. Your current air temperature is 74 degrees, a very nice, partly cloudy sky here for tonight's race. Super dry skies here, the humidity at a very, very low and 0%. Got winds coming out of the west at about 8 miles per hour, and there is a 2-degree temperature between air and track temperature, as temperature is also spelled wrong on your graphic, but the track temperature is 76 degrees here.
I just noticed.
So we have exquisite racing conditions for tonight. I am excited for this one. Back to you, Ezeckiel.
That's horrible how temperature is spelled wrong. I need to change that. My goodness. I'm sorry, guys. English is not my first. Gosh, that's horrible. We'll go over the starting grid right in front of your screen. Aaron Mulrooney logs himself to the top of the board. Donovan Strauss. Been a while since we've seen that 151. He's going to be starting in second.
And with that, we'll take it to row 2. We have the 11 of Matthew Rush, and 2 is outside the 116 of Jake Sylvia.
Row number 3 going to be Eric Heater in the number 23. Not in his number 11 because Rush took it, but we'll see that number 23 go toward the front. Cody Webster alongside of him, your Nat Series champion.
And in the row 4, we have the 017 of Alex K. Greats, and 2 is outside in 8th, the 85 of Scott Yost.
Row number 5 going to be Glenn Bundren and Seth Hood. The rest of the order is going to be shown on your screen. Find your favorite driver and hope he wins it tonight. Lots of big names sitting toward the rear of the field. Dominic Howe is one of them. Granger Perez here, my goodness. We've never seen him on the racetrack. Carson Poindexter, I know he's known around here. Michael Bianchini, Darius Rezdadgar, I guess that's a big name, but no offense to him. Yeah, 24 drivers here for tonight. A big super late model race. Surprised at the turnout, so thanks for all the drivers for showing up here for tonight.
I'm a bit surprised at the turnout, as I don't know what he's doing, that car's doing, but I'm a bit surprised at the turnout for this race is more than a lot of the Bronze Series races we had. Because I would think that most people, considering the way you climb up the ranks and classes on iRacing, you'd think they'd buy the Nats cars first, but interesting.
Yeah, I'm surprised myself that a lot of people have the super late model. I was only expecting about 12 to show up tonight, but we basically doubled that number. We're about, I think, 25, 26 drivers here for tonight. So, again, glad to see a lot of drivers here on the racetrack.
The more the merrier, I guess, in some cases. Hopefully this one.
Yeah, but again, you said, as you stated, it's short track racing, short tempers, so it'll be interesting on how these drivers will handle tonight's race. Should be a lot of fun to see who comes out up top. Thank you, Blaze McKinney, for subscribing to the channel. Glad you're joining us with the broadcast.
What a legend. He's pacing the field while subscribing to the channel.
Yeah.
Major props up to you, bud.
One to go this time by. The pace car works itself into turn number 1. The race analysis is going to be shown on the right-hand side of the screen. Again, 100 laps in total. Pit window should be about halfway, so should see drivers. Actually, that pit window might be a bit bigger since it's a super late model, but we'll have to see on where everybody stands around. Coming to the green this time by as pace car works itself into turn number 3. USA 100 iSCAR Super Late Model Series round number 1 out of 10. Getting set to go green at USA. Pace car is in. And the number 8. I mean, that's not the number 8. The number 2, Aaron Mulrooney Jr. will lead the charge to the green flag. Let's go racing.
Green flag, green flag.
Numbers can be hard, but driving a car hopefully isn't that hard as the field makes their way into turn 1 and they try to...
The wrecking! The wrecking!
It's already around. The leaders have gone around up at the front of the field, and we have more cars around in the back.
Wow, and a big, big wreck. Man.
I saw Harry Grindle around in the background, right as Mulrooney seemed to go around near the edge of the screen. So early issues for the pole sitter here.
There's two wrecks that happened at once. Donovan. Looks like. Oh yeah, he definitely got into the 2. So.
And the 11 of Matthew Rush got into him. The 98, I think that's the 98, got into him as well.
Again, we'll try to scoot to the rear as. Again, there was another driver who got turned. There he is. That's Harry Grindle, the 002. Looks like the.
Oh, that's a big overcorrection, and I think that's the 87 of Casey Drake that hit him there. But I think that was the 057 of Blaze McKinney who, got right into him and bam.
Actually, that's Blaze is in the 157. The 057 is actually Austin Griffey, who then got caught up with Mulrooney. So.
I got my 57s mixed up.
Yeah. My goodness, another driver out on the racetrack that we never see. How about Ryan Doucette? Oh my goodness, we never see him on the racetrack. He's out here tonight. The 071 who usually runs around in other series. Surprised to see the 071 on track. That's pretty cool to see he's here tonight.
As you saw in the previous clip, the 11 of Matthew Rush already has a lot of front-end damage, just 3 laps into the race. So hopefully it doesn't affect with the amount of damage you can see there. Hope it might just hinder him a little bit. As with all that commotion, Jake Sylvia will now, barring any pit stops, lead the field back to green when we do so.
Yep. Currently working on the first caution. Unfortunately, a big wreck on lap number 1 brings us down to pace car speed. But of course, we'll get ourselves back situated as your new leader, the 116 to Jake Sylvia, will lead the field to the next restart. It's a nice paint scheme on his machine as well. I don't know if they're doubling. No, they're not doubling up because there was a caution came out with lap number 1, so we should go green next time by. But lots of new paint schemes, of course, that we've never seen. See the 11 right there in front of your screen. 45 a Webster. He has a nice scheme.
That's a spiffy one.
Yeah. Keeter in his iconic green and black 23. Proximity, of course. They're running a Supra. With these super late models, you see some various sponsors throughout the. I mean, not various sponsors, but various manufacturers throughout. You see right there, that's a Pontiac. So.
A very damaged Pontiac,
yeah,
but nonetheless a Pontiac.
Yeah, Seth Hood, I think that's a Dodge. So we got at least 5-6 manufacturers on the racetrack right now.
And that's what's left of a Chevy SS on that 057 car.
It's a Dodge. Man. I think, Grindle is running a...
That's probably a Renault.
Yeah.
Harry Grindle has asked us for weeks to acknowledge the fact that he drives a Renault, so here you go, Harry. We finally did it.
Pace car lights are off, and he's getting ourselves set for the first restart of the night. Gonna take the green on lap number 7 out of 100. Green flag is back out. The 2 teammates lead it to the green.
Looks like Matthew Rush did not get a good restart there. Perhaps that damage could potentially include engine issues now, as I think he's being split 3 wide into turn 1.
Whoa, 4 wide in the background, not gonna work. 1 car hard in the wall.
Dominic Howe involved in green car. Not sure what the number on that is.
Blaze McKinney.
It's the 157. So now the 157's been in a wreck.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
As another quick caution right off a restart.
Yeah, man. These drivers, one car just slipped the corner, and there were 4 wide looking around, and McKinney.
I think Austin slowed up Dominic Howe, and then McKinney went for a hole that quickly closed up.
Yeah, I mean, 4 wide can only take you so much.
As another proximity driver, already with a lot of damage, very early into the races. We saw Aaron Mulrooney get spun around and turn 1 of the first laps, so his teammate Dominic Howe is not faring much better here.
It's good news for the 071, Ryan Doucette, who's actually going to get the wave around and get put on the lead lap. So we'll see him taking it to the outside, and he'll now be the 19th car. He's going to be in the lead lap.
As you see on the leaderboard there, Michael Bianchini, John Cannizzaro, and Granger Pera unfortunately did not start tonight's event, and Harry Grindle with his damage already 3 laps down.
He just recently went back onto pit road, still trying to repair as much damage as he can, but losing a lot of laps. But there's only one driver who's 1 lap down, and that's the number 2 of Aaron Mulrooney. Unfortunately for him, he's going to have to wait for another caution to get a wave around. Let's work up here, look into lap number 10 out of 100. Jake Sylvia's still in the lead.
Looks like Matthew Rush in the 11's also being shown a lap down. He must have pit again to repair more of his damage from the big lap 1 incident as well.
Actually, he's he's disconnected from the race. I don't see that 11 highlighted currently, so I don't think the 11's gonna finish the race, unfortunately.
Yeah, it looks like that damage he got ended up being terminal, so that's unfortunate for him. I'm not sure when the last time we saw Matthew Rush in a race, if we ever have before. So
yeah, first time.
If that's his debut, not the way you want to start off.
Definitely. Yeah, it's fairly unfortunate. You had to see drivers wreck fairly early, especially on lap number 1. But
the first turn of lap 1, nonetheless.
Right. Of course, these drivers, this is the first time they're handling these race cars, so I ain't gonna put the blame on them. But again, it is etiquette to take it easy for the first couple of laps.
I would dispute short track etiquette, but with the way short track races pan themselves out, sometimes I'm not really sure if etiquette exists.
Yeah, well,
I guess maybe that's just variation of opinion there, but
driver, what you call it? Driver emotions, but driver thought process just varies throughout.
as I believe we're going to get the 1 to green here.
Yes, we will, hopefully, as they cross the start-finish line. Indeed, we do get 1 to green. So the 2 Vortex machines, actually, it's a Miller Motorsport machine in that number 45, but Webster owns Vortex, which is the 116, so I guess they're technically teammates, but...
Pretty much Kevin Harvick driving for RCR and then having a KHI car right next to him.
Right.
Tomato, tomato.
Yeah. Demoing up again. Currently
Pretty much the same cars.
Hopefully we don't see any lap 1 wrecking. And here we go, working to the start-finish line. Everybody bunching up as the pace car has been. We get ourselves up and away yet again at USA.
Looks like Great's got into the back bumper of Sylvia there on the restart. Oh, we have somebody slow on the track, I believe.
Whoa, there's a wreck.
Climbs up into the wall. And yet another early caution here. That's Darius Rizadagar in the 46. Stopped behind him. So it looked like they were going 4 wide into turn 1, and with a short track like this, that's just not going to work.
You know what I'm gonna do? Sync file. There we go. But yeah, that's just iSCAR protocol. Unfortunately, we have to go to single file restarts, but you know, that's what it is. But we'll get a replay of what happened as they headed themselves into 1 and 2. Green flag dropped, and of course, a lot of contact in the rear of the field. 16. Oh man, Dominic Howe hit the 151, and you see Doucette did a bit of damage.
Doucette managed to save it, but there could be some left side damage on his car there from that side swipe with the 30. And it looks like Matthew Klein ended up doing the same thing Harry Grindle did, where he barely got tapped and just overcorrected it right up into the outside wall.
It's actually the 30. Well, yeah. See it again. Trying to get a better replay, but you'll see the contact being led up. You see
Alex K. Greats was loose coming into the turn. It looked like when he got loose, it just stacked everybody up behind him. You can get a view with that. I've caught it right off the edge of the screen. Looks like the back bumper of Greats was sliding all over the place, and then everyone else just nowhere to go. Perhaps just a classic chain reaction event there.
Right. Coming off a restart, so these drivers have to take it as clean as they can.
I mean, we're already we're now on lap 17 or lap 16, and we've run about 3/4 of the lap under green.
Yeah, jeez. I don't think
About
if
a
I
fourth
pulled
of
the
the
race summary panel, I don't think there. No, 4 green laps. Well, I think there's
I
just
got
restart
4.
laps.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's gonna be that kind of day, isn't it?
Looks like a carbon copy of the Richmond Cup race that I was lamenting on the other night.
Hopefully, I mean.
The cautions follow me around.
But as I said,
Like-
hopefully.
Like whenever I go into the booth, Darby cautions. Hopefully, I mean at Richmond we ended up with a solid green flag run in the about back third of the race. So hopefully at some point, once these early jitters are released from their bodies, we can get a solid green run going here.
Yeah, again, hopefully a single file restart will calm the field down just a slight, but I actually need to enable that consecutive caution single file restart. So there's a setting on iRacing in which if you have a lap, if you have a lap on the first caution, what the heck am I saying? If you have a caution on the first lap, that will put the field into single file formation. And seems like a lot of contact on the restart, so hopefully with everybody having a lot of room, we won't have problems anymore.
This is almost reminding me a bit of the ending of the Snowball Derby back in December, where there was that big incident where I think Ty Majeski was hooked by, I want to say, Casey Roderick, and then right before that or right after that, there were another couple restarts where they just kept wrecking over and over and over again. So looks like just typical short track action here as we are going back green for the 4th time tonight, as Jake Sylvia will lead them to it.
Double foul as they head into turn number 1 or 4, I don't know. 7th place, looks like that's the 1 of Poindexter, the 0-1 of Hunter Ellis as they work off of turn number 2. They keep it clean for this time as we're looking 3 into turn number 1.
And there they
Yep,
go.
there they go. Donovan's in it.
151's
Oh
in it.
my gosh,
That's
look at
a
the amount of
big
people
jackpot.
piling in.
Grindle manages to slow down in time, but a couple others were not so fortunate. And that looked similar to the wreck I was just talking about with Ty Majeski and Casey Roderick, just everybody piling in with nowhere to go. Ooh, that's the 85 of Scott Yost, and you see William Schmidt getting piled into. The 87's in there. Another restart, another wreck. I guess single file did not calm it down that much.
Well, I
It
mean,
just
they
pushed the
made
wreck
a
onto the. It just pushed the wrecks into turn 3 instead of turn 1.
Yeah, man. There's
Now
already people roaming near the incident limit. Dominic Howe is close to being penalized for too many incidents.
Yikes.
There's a couple drivers sitting with 12. Austin Griffey's sitting with 13. Casey Drake, one of them with 12. Man!
It's a 22 limit, right?
Yeah, 22 limit, but if you get 17x, you get a penalty.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a stop and go. Or no, I think
Dominic Howe has got to be real careful here to make, because if you get a stop and go penalty here, you're going to go laps down.
Right, definitely. Yeah, and you have to serve it under green, so
And we will line them all up and do it all again.
yeah, it's unfortunate, but I'm pretty sure it's single file restart, yes it is, but yeah. Back at it again at Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme.
But you don't know
as I
reference.
I do not know the reference.
Oh, I need to send you the video. It's just, no, I'm not even gonna describe it because I'm not gonna make it funny, but I'll send you the video after.
As I was talking in the pre-race show about how those 3 proximity drivers of Strauss, Mulrooney, and Alex K. Grates were leading the leaderboards, and Alex K. Grates is the only one left in the top 15, as Mulrooney and Strauss, or Mulrooney's in 12th, but still only the one in the top 10, as Mulrooney and Strauss have already been involved in early race incidents. So the triple-headed monster of proximity racing looks like partially been defeated here already by the rest of the field.
Yeah.
But it looks like rather than passing them, they're just straight up wrecking them.
Yeah, my goodness. Lots of wrecks, as I said. Ryan Doucette is going to disconnect. He doesn't want to deal with cautions. Very smart, I would agree.
It's unfortunate for him because or unfortunate for us because, as you said earlier, he hasn't showed up in a long time, and it's too bad that this is the kind of race he comes back to.
Right. Not a good look for him. Yeah, like,
I mean,
hopefully he'll show up next week. I mean, on Friday and maybe get a good show off of that.
I mean, when you consider that the rest of this Super Late Model Series schedule kind of looks like, it'll be on tracks like these, I feel like the field for these races might whittle down a little bit as the season progresses.
Well, I disagree because...
Perhaps except for New Smyrna.
Yeah.
New Smyrna, or not New Smyrna, Five Flags. Five Flags will be the big one.
Right.
As I believe you're having a cash payout for that one, correct?
Yes, correct.
That'll be spicy.
Yeah.
See, that one, we'll probably see stuff like the real-life races at Five Flags.
Yeah, man. That's going to be crazy. Set yourselves up for the green flag next time. I mean, this time by. Field works themselves around the corner. The only car one lap down is Darius Rez's dad car. As they work to the green, we're back up and away at USA.
Green, green, green.
Yeah, speaking of Five Flags, the only way it's a realistic race there is if you disqualify somebody for no reason.
Whoa! Got one car real sideways on entry. That'd be the one at Poindexter. Keeps it straight. We're still green.
Yeah, unlike the earlier restarts, at least he kept it going still and didn't end up spinning himself around. As we are now on lap 26, and we have finally completed our first complete green flag lap of the race. So congratulations, everybody. More of those.
Please.
As we have a car on the wall now. As I say that, I think that was
Commentator curse.
Yeah, the 98 of Bundring slapped the wall out of turn 2.
It's the first time these drivers have really, quoted, raced on a super late model. Because we've never run these, never, ever see these cars run official. But except on, like, the peak hour or something like that. But it's good to see some drivers getting the hang of this racing as big battle here as Mulrooney going to peek to the low side of Ellis. We'll see if he can get the pass complete.
Looks like Ellis went up high and going to try and let him go here, as he didn't really put that much of a fight up for the position.
Well, looking 3 as Ellis watches up the racetrack. Never mind, going to back out of it. Keep it 2 by 2, entering 3. But meanwhile up front, Vortex and Miller. Again, Alliance. Oh, wreck in the back! It's for third, actually! And around goes Heater.
Oh, boy. And here we go again.
Wow, got turned from third. We're going to see what happened as Heater gets himself going. Man.
We finally had about a 3 or 4 lap run there.
Whoa.
Oh, looks like Greats just dive bombed it and around he went.
Yeah, man.
Almost another angle will show Heater chopped down a little bit, but that looked like a classic dive bomb right there.
Heater entered the corner late, but that doesn't give it. I mean, Heater was just trying to make the corner, and unfortunate for him, Grace was going. Yeah.
That was a pretty hard side impact into the wall for Heater too. Bam, right there. That was harder than it looked at first. So hopefully that doesn't affect him that much.
Blaze McKinney in the 157, he's going to disconnect from the race. And, looks like he don't want to deal with that crap either. As we're yet again under caution for the, I'd say 5th time.
Yeah.
Giving me flashbacks of what happened, Bronze Series race at
pretty much
USA.
I was going to say pretty much half the bronze races this season, but I didn't know you were going to reference one that wasn't this season.
Yeah, last season of bronze, I mean, not last season, but season 1 of bronze, we ran USA, and that had extraordinary amount of cautions. It was way worse than what we're seeing. I mean, yeah, it was just exactly like the first 3 cautions. We were just caution after caution after caution. Even single file restarts didn't fix it, but luckily for this, these cars are more stable to keep it. It's just restarts. That's the problem as of right now. I didn't finish my sentence, but you get the gist of it. Bronze Series was horrible last season here.
So just pointing this out now, with all the cautions we've had and all the people disconnecting, Your pole sitter, Aaron Mulrooney, who spun out on turn 1 of lap 1, now finds himself right back in 5th again in contention for the win. So, don't count that 2 car out just yet.
Darius Rettadadgar in the number 46 will actually get the wave around and put himself back on the lead lap. The 017 Alex K. Grades with a 1 out of 3 after contact with the number 30 Dominic Cal. He'll pull himself to the rear, unfortunately, as he scoot across the start-finish line. Yeah. Still.
Looks like 2 to go to green, I think.
2 to go. That's what I'm assuming. Alright. Field working themselves down the back stretch. Jake Sylvia still in the lead. We're going to keep it single file restarts for right now. Unless the field gets votes to go double file via Webster, but we'll have to see on how that'll work out. But Sylvia in the meantime is up front, and we'll be charged to the next restart.
We'll see how he takes this next restart, as he's got his team owner, Cody Webster, and we'll start right behind him in 2nd.
I was mentioning about the bronze race last season, on season 1, here at this racetrack. That totaled up to 13 cautions for only 80 laps. So,
jeez.
Yeah. And,
right now we're about 5 for 29, something like that. We're close-ish. If we keep it up, we might get there.
65 caution laps that race, and there was only 80 laps, so that means 15 laps under green. That's nuts.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That was pre-green white checkered too, right? Before iRacing put that in.
That's pre-green white checkered.
Speaking of green, we're back under it now, and hopefully for a longer period of time than we've seen so far.
As it's out. Never mind. Look at the back. They're looking 4 wide into turn number 1.
Smart on the 01 of Hunter Ellis's part to back out of that, because otherwise we might have ended up with another incident right off the restart.
Car's getting to the wall right behind, looking 3 wide as William Schmidt going to shove himself to the low side of Casey Drake. Hell, close racing as Seth Hood in number 69 trying to pinch down the 1.
See Poindexter in the UNC Charlotte scheme. I believe he's still a student there, so good on him repping his school colors as he makes his way up into 5th place past that 69 car.
Poindexter, a racer in real life. I know he races legends and doing it nice to a super late model. As you see, loose right in the background. The 30 is on the cow.
Nice save by that 30. That could have been big too.
Dominic Ruddy has a 16X on his machine. It's a bit of a jam up front. Everybody trying to work themselves around the 01 of Hunter Ellis. Has tagged the wall a couple times already. William Schmidt trying to find ways around him.
Looks like Hunter Ellis just locked the brakes up a little bit, but as you were saying, Dominic Howe has to be real careful here as Casey Drake is hard in the inside wall. But as you said earlier, with a 17X creating a stop-and-go penalty and Dominic Howard is 16, he's got to be really careful when he goes to make passes, because any slight contact could potentially give him a 4X and cause him to come down pit road.
Yeah, that's right. As meanwhile for 3rd, swapping positions as the number 2, Mulrooney. He's looking himself forward. That's Glenn Bundren in the number 98. He's falling back. Obviously has a lot of right side damage on his machine, not helping to turn in on his car. And he's going to probably drop out of the top 5.
As you see, Poindexter following Mulrooney down is solid run for that 1 car so far. He's had a lot of bad luck across the different series this season, but solid run for him right now, finding himself up in top 5 in that Friends of Kermit racing machine.
You see right behind the damaged machine, the damaged Pontiac, that number 98. Glenn Bundren, as they work right up off the corner. Still battling right here for, I think this is 7th place. Dominic Howell, William Schmidt leads this pack of 4 into turn number 1. William misses the corner. Peter gonna have a chance to go to the bottom. Can't do it though. And now we're at the point of the... Oh, got a wreck!
Oh boy, and it's Heater again.
What? No caution!
We're still green somehow, as I think that was the 28. And,
whoa!
And Griffey gets into the back of Ryan Kwan. But out of all that, we're somehow still green.
Yeah, I'm surprised we are, as we're going to get a replay of what happened. It looks like the 28 of Ryan Kwan.
Ooh, nice avoidance by the 01 of Hunter Ellis to not hit Heater right there. That was close.
Cannot believe that didn't bring caution out. But meanwhile, up front, the top two, again, they're close buddies. I know that for sure. Jake Sylvia, Cody Webster, they have pulled away from 3rd place, and then from the number 2 of Aaron Mulrooney. And the last time he's pit was, I think, just about. He pitted in the first caution. As you see, Webster all the way to the low side has a lot of right side damage on his machine. Probably got tight there and tagged the wall.
Probably, as that's going to give Jake Sylvia a big lead here, as Mulrooney is almost still another second behind Webster, so with Mulrooney eventually going to have to catch up to Webster, this could open up a big lead for Jake Sylvia for the next X amount of laps. So even though it's his team owner, he might just have been happy that happened.
Yeah. We're watching the battle here for 6th place as Dominic Cow yet again trying to work himself forward. Already has a lot of X's on that machine, but still running a charge. He's now sitting outside the top 5 and battling out with 6th place of Seth Hood in the number 69 machine. Working themselves in the 1 and 2. And these cars are wider than what these people usually run. It's either they're much flatter or they're wider than what I think they are. But since these cars are wider, they have a bigger footprint on the racetrack. It allows more control under the machine. And of course, with a good engine, you can definitely put all the power and steer through the corner fairly nicely as Bunker cuts off the 69 of Hood right up off of turn number 2. But that's allowed. You can go ahead.
As Bundren, despite cutting him off, looks like he's doing a nice crossover here on Dominic Couch, trying to get back in the top 5. But can't quite block all of them, as if you block too much of the track like this, you're probably going to get yourself turned at some point. So, but the advantage for Bundren is Dominic Couch can't turn anybody or he'll end up with a stop and go. So
right. Ooh, that was close right there.
Looks like he almost did, but this is where you got to tiptoe your way through without doing anything that could potentially give you more incident points. It's like I was saying before, Dominic Couch's going to be really careful. Like he cannot take any risks when making these passes like that. Potentially a driver like Seth Hood, who I don't believe has been in any incidents yet. Mark, no jinx there, but perhaps he could take a more risky move to make a pass than Howe can.
There's Seth Hood, number 69. I think he's making his first start here tonight. Number 69, which does have the rookie symbol right next to his last name, so.
Doing a pretty good job so far.
Right, definitely. See the number 69 run toward the top 10 as he's under fire from William Schmidt and trying to work himself around the number 98 of Glenn Bundren. Again, Bundren very damaged after tagging the wall a couple of times, and of course involved in that first lap wreck.
There you go.
But yeah. These drivers do have to pit at least once.
Yeah, I believe that. I mean, even though Mulrooney's already pit, he like you said before, he pit on lap 2. So, for all intents and purposes, none of the top 5s really pit yet for much. So, as we approach the fuel window, I believe is 55 to 65. So Dominic Howe is the only one in top 6 or so that has already pit more recently. So,
of course, those caution laps do help. So I think they're going to pit in, well, let's say 53 laps logged on the racetrack, 23 caution laps. That's about 30 green flag laps right there. So they could stretch it all the way to about
maybe 75 or so.
Yeah, 75. Maybe. Then they'll have to come in. If this thing stays green all the way, though, people who pitted earlier on like the previous caution, Dominic Howe, I know he pitted on lap number 33. 33 laps ago. William Schmidt, he also pitted 33 laps ago. There's some drivers who even pitted earlier. Scott Yost in the number 85, he pitted 23 laps ago. Ryan Kwan pitted 22. Eric Heater pitted 22. Darius Dadgar pitted 22 laps ago. I don't know if they're going to make it all the way to the end, but it's going to be close for them.
You see Alex K. Greats also in the top 10. He pit 24 laps ago, so all these top 8 have to pit. There he is right there, potentially putting himself in a good winning strategy here if this goes green.
Right.
And with the amount of cautions we've already seen tonight, I would not think.
Interesting thing about this...
Bundren's in the wall there.
Yeah. Interesting thing about this car, pit stops are not as fast as they are on NASCAR vehicles. It takes about 20 seconds to take a full tank. No, not even a full tank. Just 4 tires for 20 seconds. 20 seconds for 4 tires for 20 seconds. So same tomato, but I don't know if fueling is different, like the fueling mechanism is slower. But if it is, that means drivers have to spend more time on the pit road, so they need a caution to make it all the way from this point forward, to stay on that lead lap most likely.
That's when you got to go into NASCAR 06 and get that Mr. Clean pit crew.
Right. Let's have this big fight itself. Contact!
Oh no, and there goes Seth Hood, and when he gets hit by one of the black cars. There's a lot of black cars in the field tonight. Not sure which one that is. Whoa, and and Hunter Ellis. No. That's the 85 of Scott Yost that hit Seth Hood, and then Hunter Ellis just nowhere to go up on that high side.
We were just talking about cautions, and there's one of them. Unfortunately, has to be in a wreck, and the 017 already in a couple pieces of trouble. Finds himself with a 2 out of 3, unfortunately. We'll see it again as they worked themselves into one. Looks like Alex just got tight.
Looks like almost a carbon copy of the wreck involving him and Eric Heater that brought, I think, the previous caution out. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing again. Looks like he just sent it into the corner, and around that 69 went, and then Scott Yost, if you go to him, just pretty much nowhere to go, and then there you see the 01 just pile right in. So you can see Yost hard on the brakes, but not hard enough.
Well, the wreck happens in front of them, and these windshields are fairly small. You don't have a big...
And then you'll see...
Tries to back out of him, and you see...
There's the 01.
01 of Ellis just came flying in there.
I'm not really sure what I don't know.
Me neither.
I'm not sure how to explain that one, but regardless, it definitely gave him a lot of right side damage and probably some front end damage from hitting the back of that 85. So whatever just happened, it wasn't good.
Yeah. A bit of development. Eric Heater, with that pit stop, he had a long pit stop on his way down pit road. 32 seconds. He's gonna be trapped 1 lap down, unfortunately. Matthew Klein, in the 00 stayed himself out. He's gonna have to hope for Klein to come in because he didn't.
I think he's coming in now.
Yeah.
Probably just to lead the lap.
Right.
As staying out doesn't always work. We saw in the Richmond race, Klein stayed out like that, and then on the restart, he ended up getting into that 017 of Alex K. Greats, and he ended up on his side. So staying out does not always end up helping. But I mean, despite the caution, at least we finally got a solid green flag run in.
Right, definitely.
Took a while, but we got it.
Yeah. Race summary going to be shown on the right-hand side of the screen.
As we finally have more green flag runs than green flag laps than caution laps.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Green flag lap for the caution laps. There was a it was a 2-to-1 ratio with caution to green, but now it's sort of flipped again. Flipped the opposite way. It's a 1 to 1.5 ratio now. But good to see more green flag laps than caution laps now.
So as we see, it looks like Aaron Mulrooney either took 2 tires or perhaps a fuel-only stop, as he's going to be the leader on this restart, as the pole sitter now finds himself back up front.
Yeah, I mean, the number 2, Mulrooney, 18-second pit stop. He might have taken 2 in that number 2 machine. We'll see how 2 tires play out, because this is not the new tire model. This is the older tire model, so it should be interesting at how the 2 will go for the restarts. We go back up and away.
Sylvia did not get going at all right there. Oh, someone almost got turned right there. They're going to really bunch up into turn 1.
Whoa! Trouble!
Oh, and there goes Webster.
Oh, and the 46.
46 is around.
Yellow flag is out.
Still green. 87 just got turned to the inside. There's the caution again, and oh boy.
Yeah,
boy, oh boy, oh boy.
That was Darius Rezadadgar who got clipped in that number 46. Tried to get. I'm surprised everybody kept it out of harm's way, but you see the 46 just got clipped as one car came barreling down.
I think the problem started farther up. The Dominic Howell and Cody Webster both went really high out of turn 2, and see Daggar there, and then Casey Drake got turned, I believe, by Greats trying to avoid the initial incident. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, the 45 of Webster, he was running second all day, and unfortunate for him, we're trying to get a replay of it as... Oh, he clipped the apron.
Oh, he got loose. He got loose off the apron and overcorrected right up into that 30. Nice avoidance by Glenn Bundren in that 98 right there.
Add insult to injury. Webster wrecks out the 87.
As Glenn Bundren already has a lot of damage, but fortunately he did not pick any more up right there, as he did a nice job making his way through that incident. As it looks like everybody from Hunter Ellis on back is now on, or multiple lap, or one or more laps down. So it looks like almost half of the field now lapped.
Bit of a race control issue. Webster's playing black flag, so. But yeah, we'll scoot ourselves to the side for right now. We'll go ahead and sort out race control issues. We'll play a small commercial break, as we'll be right back right after this. One, 0. Alright, we're back here live as a bit of a scoring error. Getting ourselves set up for the next green flag. Aaron Mulrooney in the number 2 would lead it to the charge. Sylvia in the 116. Poindexter, yeah, he's there. He's suddenly in the top 5. William Schmidt, I know he's running toward the rear. He was running toward the midsection of the pack. Now he's up here in 5th. I mean, not 5th, but 4th. So lots of excitement running within the top 5.
See Matthew Klein in 7th in that 00 car. Good, decent run for him tonight, despite being involved in an earlier incident. As we are finally back green again, and hopefully we get another good, solid green run here. Need more of those, and we almost had a caution right there, as somebody did not get going.
Drivers are fanning all over the track. Restarts are pretty much essential because these drivers need a Oh, as
Looks like Greats is hitting.
yeah, Greats has to serve on in for his 2 out of 3. So he'll have to take a stop and go.
As that'll most likely drop him off the lead lap from, I think he was in 5th place, so it's unfortunate for him, but penalty's a penalty.
Shows Dadgar trying to work to the low side of number 45, and Cody Webster can't make the pass happen as he works into turn number 3. Meanwhile, his teammate, that number 28, Ryan Kwan, is under fire by that number 23 of Eric Keeter. So, drivers littered all over the racetrack left and right as, the Kwan machine overshoots the corner. We'll see if Keeter can get a bite off and regain it back. You see the contact right behind. My goodness, what a save by Webster.
I think that was the other 408 car of Dadgar also in that mix too, as looks like they're both gonna have a run on that 0-0 of Matthew Klein.
Man, how about that? Dadgar and Klein side by side. Dadgar gonna make the pass on Klein. Klein gonna try a crossover, but 2 people with a lot of lore in this series going to duke it out. It's pretty interesting and amusing.
Both of them may or may not have co-owned a team with a commentator in this booth.
Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, a lot of iSCAR lore between those 2.
We'll never know.
Klein being a hold on to the person right behind, and Seth Hood as they're ticking at 3.
Big run by the 30. 3 wide down the backstretch here.
Oh!
Jackson.
Yep, and
Wow. Did that just, I think, did Dominic Cowders get disqualified?
Yeah,
Oh, no. That was a good save by Seth Hood, though, as Dominic just sideswiped him. Really nice job by that 69 to keep it going and keep himself up in the top 10, but the disqualification monster takes its first victim tonight with that 30 at Dominic Howe. As we now have just 23 laps to go, so we're in the late stages here at USA at Murica Speedway.
Yeah, again, some new faces in the top 5. Ryan Kwan works himself into 5th place. Now he doesn't have anybody roaming around him. They're looking 2x2 for 6th place. Is Alex K. Graves. Bundren kind of trying to come down on Webster. Of course, Webster with a bunch of damage already. As he scrapes the wall off the corner. That's Heater in the 23 who wants to make the ways through. Webster works himself.
Looks like we're all gonna get by Bundren here.
Yeah, Bundren's not having a good night. I see. Grates is all sorts of sideways on entry.
As Grates is 2 laps down, so that stop and go penalties really hurt him here. And
yeah.
He's also not in the lucky dog position either. That is currently the 85 of Scott Yost.
Yep.
So for Grates to even have a shot in hell at getting back in this, he needs probably 3 or 4 cautions to come out, which honestly isn't out of the question.
Well, I mean, there's only 16 cars on the racetrack as of right now. We'll have to see. We'll probably get a caution or 2, but if things go right, Mulrooney's going to run up away with another win here for here at USA.
Despite wrecking in turn 1 on lap 1.
Right, what a recovery.
That would make it even that much sweeter, I would think. It also marked the 2nd consecutive week that 2 car would pick up a win as he scored the W the other night at Richmond.
Right.
Good momentum booster, especially with the Super Late Model Series being the first race in the series. A win is definitely the way you want to start off the season, and it also puts you in a good points position going into next week with an early jump on the field. So hopefully we're not jinxing the hell out of him right now, and he can actually keep, hold off that 116 and that 1. But if anything stupid happens, I extend my apologies in advance. Just 16 laps to go here at USA.
Well, it's just all these top 3 within the picture. Aaron Mulrooney. Oh, well, we'll scroll to the back as now the battle for 4th place. How about Kwan making himself into the mix? He battles out with William Schmidt, who washes up the racetrack. That's Alex K. Grates. Again, 2 laps down. Not going to be a factor, but he's trying to make up as much position as he can and to get himself now 1 down.
Ryan Kwan just came off a really good showing, too. I believe he got a top 3 finish at the Texas Xfinity race that had such a small field because of the Super Bowl going on, but small field or not, top 3 is a top 3, so this will be a really good couple of races here for Ryan Kwan if he can hold on to this position. And for that whole 408 Racing team is his teammate and owner, Darius Reza-Dadgar in P9, so pretty good night for the 408 guys so far.
In the 017, Alex K. Grade's a lap car, trying to work himself around the number 79, William Schmidt. Doesn't have anybody threatening him, but he washes up the racetrack now. Grade's going to work himself to the inside. Grade's trying not to tag the lap car. That would be horrible, and of course, he's already on a 2 out of 3. You don't want to make any a situation worse.
Disqualify him, yeah.
Yeah.
Hoping the disqualification monster doesn't claim him, as they're approaching the 10 lap to go point here.
Yeah, it's just Mulrooney on an island of his own, looking around the racetrack for some battles, and here's one of them. It's going to be 98 Glenn Bundren and 46 Darius Reza-Dadgar.
Pretty much the whole top 10 is kind of in a island of their own. They're all pretty spread out from each other. Sylvia's got about a 2.5 on Poindexter, who's got a 2.5 on Quan. They can all pretty much at this point just run their own race and make themselves hopefully to the line where they currently are.
Right.
Without any funny business.
I would say a 3-car battle, but again, the 017 lap car is still trying to work himself around the number 79, William Schmidt. Webster to the inside. He wants to work himself around the 017, so he can get himself up into the mix, but...
As Great's forcing himself under Schmidt's going to allow Webster to get under that 79. And then
door bang! Oh, there they go! Oh, big wreck!
On his side he goes, and...
Oh, heater piles in.
23, and there's the caution. Oh, boy. That is not what Aaron Mulrooney wanted to see
I
at
know.
all.
I know the 79 and 45. They have some tension between each other. I know that. We'll have to see what happened, but man, looks like
Webster squeezed him a little bit, I think. And
yeah.
Right up and over on his side.
These cars are just so wide.
And you see the 23 of Heater pile into that 45, but I think those were all the cars involved. I don't think anybody else piled in besides those 3. Oh, and yeah, looks like Webster was trying to get going and ended up right in the path of that 23.
Again, Webster washed up the racetrack right there.
Yeah, I don't think the 79 ever hit the wall.
No, he never
at
hit the
all.
wall.
But a wild ride for that
Damn.
79 is... He's still going.
Yeah, I'm surprised. These things are tanks.
As one of the many black cars in the field will get their lap back. I believe that's the 85 of Yost.
Exciting.
As the 00 of Matthew Klein finds himself, again, back up into the top 10. So,
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Klein's in an up and down night here.
I just noticed NASCAR is streaming the preseason race at on their actual website.
What the new
I mean,
peak...
the YouTube website. I mean, oh my gosh, what am I saying? NASCAR.
What are you saying?
Yeah, what the hell? NASCAR is streaming the race on the NASCAR YouTube rather than the actual on iRacing's YouTube.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's interesting. They're actually both live, iRacing
Speaking
and
of-
NASCAR.
Speaking of preseason stuff, I really, really miss preseason Thunder. And damn it, I wish it would come back. While we're on that note, I miss the days where, right before, middle January, you'd wake up on a Saturday or Sunday morning, you'd turn on the Speed channel, and you'd see preseason Thunder on, and you knew the season was almost here.
Yeah. Back in my day!
And then shortly thereafter, you'd have Wind Tunnel with Dave Despain and all the other shows they had. Man, just reminiscing on it makes me a little, not teary-eyed, but boy do I miss it though.
Yeah, definitely. Missed the speed channel. All those other channels.
It's now Fox Sports 1's testicles.
Yeah. What a shame.
Sad.
One to go.
Yeah, we're having. Sorry about that. We're having sad boy hours up here. But hopefully they're gonna turn to happy boy hours, as we're gonna have one hell of a restart here with just 3 to go, and we're probably gonna see moves made that we haven't seen all race here for guys desperate to start their season off with a win. So
yeah, here we go. Again, new
as
faces toward the
DW
front.
As DW would say, pull those belts tight one more time, because damn it, we're gonna go green.
Yeah, 3 laps to go. I don't think these drivers actually realize they're on the older tire model, so I think it's more beneficial to pit, but that's just my thing. Green flag is up and away, and
Well,
who
Rooney
gets
already-
a nice restart?
Green, green, green.
Somebody is in the wall already. I think it was
Dadgar.
Dadgar.
Oh, contact!
Whoa.
Oh, well, they go for
Oh,
third.
Yellow flag is out.
Who is that? That's Poindexter. Oh, no. And he got spun out of 3rd place. And the 28 of Kwon was in 4th place. So 2 of the cars in the top 5 are now going to have to go all the way to the back. Oh, Bundren got into Kwon, and
Yeah, and that shot him
Quan-
down the
Quan-
track.
a little bit of karma right there. You see Bundren got clipped at the end of that, so I guess Glenn Bundren got what was coming. It's unfortunate for Kwon. He had nothing, or he couldn't do anything about that, as he got that big shot from the 98 car.
Yeah.
So while Glenn Bundren is currently shown in 3rd, he might be getting an EOL here.
That's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate for all 3 of them. All 3 of them were having a really good race. So I believe it looks like the 98 does, in fact, have an EOL. They're running, I believe, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and now they're going to be running about, like, 10th, 11th, and 12th, or something like that, so this might be one of those where even a top 10 might be a bitter pill to swallow, because you know you could have gotten a top 3 or even maybe even a win.
Right.
But with all of that, the 87 of Casey Drake, who's been involved in probably 4 or 5 incidents tonight, now finds himself in 3rd place, coming to the green-white checkered.
Fantastic. He got an EOL earlier, and as I said, the people who should have pit, like the previous
See,
caution.
Quan is right there.
Quan's coming down in. That's not Ellis, but I think it's 23 of Heater. He's still 1 lap down, unfortunately.
As Darius Reza Dadgar now in 4th, Seth Hood, the newcomer to the series, finds himself in 5th with just 2 to go, so solid run for him in his debut race. Hopefully he can keep himself there and not ended up incurring what just happened to the Poindexter car.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot tonight.
Definitely. I mean, that's short track racing, though. That's just classic short track racing. Cars
Okay, Denny
running in
Hamlin.
cars. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Or Joey Logano.
Short track racing.
So good. I love Denny. He was on his team for this season for what is now the Coca-Cola series.
I know Casey Kerwin is in the 23, and he's got the Air Jordan brand on his car, and I forget who's in the 32, but I know Casey Kerwin's in the 23. I'll think of it later when it doesn't really apply now, but as he was able to pry Casey Kerwin away from, what was he on, Haas? I think he was in the 14, right?
Yeah.
Or Clint Boyer's team, perhaps.
Yeah,
But
he was on Boyer's team. 1 to go this time, boy.
looks like a single file restart on the green-white checker, so this will really be interesting.
It'll just play for the 2's favor now. All eyes are on the 2 Mulrooney, because all he needs to do is hit the throttle and give himself some space in the 1. But we'll see if the 116 of Sylvia can time it and go.
He does. They both do. Sylvia's got a shot. I mean, Mulrooney's been strong as, he won the pole and everything, but Sylvia's got a shot. We'll see what he does with it.
Right.
Car on the wall
Car
in the
on the wall.
background.
Oh! Still keep it
I think
green.
that's heater, but still green. And finally, we have hit the white flag at USA as Sylvia got tight there. You see, I don't know who that was, but last shot for that 116 is Sylvia into turn 3. And out of turn 4, that number 2 of Aaron Mulrooney, after spinning on turn 1 of lap 1, will come all the way back and take the victory here at USA. Congratulations to that 2 team in Proximity Racing on their win tonight. They're second in 3 races overall.
Yeah, definitely a great recovery. A big wreck on lap number 1. I thought pulled him out of contention, but Mulrooney, well, what a great day for him, I guess. Leads, I think, the 44 laps. Jake Sylvia in the 116 leads the most. And unfortunately for Jake, he's going to come up in second here for tonight. Congratulations to the number 2 of Aaron Mulrooney Jr. We'll be right back right after this as we're going to slide in the top 3. Aaron Mulrooney, Jake Sylvia, and Casey Drake. One, 0. And we are back here live for the Keyboard Motorsports Network, broadcasting a USA 100 iSCAR Super Late Model Series. We finally ended off here tonight. Full results can be shown in front of your screen. Mulrooney picks up the W here for tonight. How about some drivers finishing up in the top 10? Matthew Klein coming home in 8th place. Carson Poindexter in 7th. Darius Dadgar, great run for him in 4th place. Seth Hood, rookie, obviously. Seth coming home 5th here for tonight.
See Jake Sylvia with his rookie tag still applying here, and he ends up in 2nd place. As we'll be able to interview him in a couple minutes to see what his thoughts about the race were.
Right.
And you see all these big names down at the bottom involved in those early incidents. 51 of Donovan Strauss, who, after not racing for a long time, unfortunately, wound up 21st after barely starting the race.
Yep.
Hopefully those guys can rebound and have a much better race next week, but as we will now prepare ourselves to do some interviews.
Yep, and slide in that number 2 of Aaron Mulrooney right into the booth. Mulrooney, man, 2 races in a row. You've been in victory lane, and here you are yet again at USA. You're picking up the W, and not only that, you had to climb yourself through the field there after you got wrecked on lap number 1. How about that, man? Great recovery.
Yeah, thank you. Basically, I mean, I've raced with Donovan before, and I frankly, love racing with him, and I think it was just, a misjudgment call. And it was just hard racing. I mean, he's a hard racer, and I'm looking forward to racing him in the future. But anyways, after that happened, I was able to basically work my way through the field. We were able to make a strategic call, taking 2 tires actually on the pit stop where Jake and Cody went in. So we took 2 tires on there. We were able to obtain the lead and basically just ran our race.
Yeah, and luckily for you, you led the second most laps of the evening, and you find yourself in victory lane here for the first race of the Super Late Model Series. How was the car overall, man?
I liked it. I heard there was a lot of people complaining in practice about it being tight, but frankly, it's just kind of getting into a rhythm with these cars. Because once you get into a rhythm, you can figure out where it turns and how the car reacts to different situations. It's not that challenging to drive. You know, it's just that initial run is just very, very challenging.
All right, man. 10 for Mulrooney, and that number 2 is going to round himself up top. Before we let you go, any sponsors you want to thank for tonight?
Yeah, I definitely want to thank you and Dewey for broadcasting. I appreciate it. I'm pretty sure this was must have been an interesting race to watch from beginning to end. I also want to thank Proximity Racing, Splashco Graphics, Trey Shuttlesworth Images, All Serve Garage Doors, and iRacing for creating the service.
All right, man. 10 for the number 2, Mulrooney, goes in victory lane for the first time here this season in this series. Congratulations, man. Can't wait to talk to you coming next race.
Thanks. Have a good one.
You too. Our slide ourselves back to the 116, Jake Sylvia, and Dewey, go ahead and take this one away.
All right, Jake, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
So you led the most laps tonight, I believe, with 59. So you were pretty dominant in the early part of the race. So how was your car overall?
The setup overall was tight. I feel like everybody was struggling with that. But, you know, I was able to do something on that longer run. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was just that Aaron was trying to come from the back and he used up his stuff. But I felt like if we were to keep on going with that run, obviously nobody was able to make it on fuel there. That's why we all came down on that caution. But I think if we were able to make it on fuel, we were able to stay out on that run, I think I would have been able to have them. I know we would have been battling the rest of it, but I think it would have been close.
Yeah, you ended up plateauing in second for most of the second half of the race. Did you think you had anything form down at the end, or do you think Aaron just had it at that point?
With his 2 tires, he definitely was faster. I think that was, definitely the better move. I probably should have thought about that with how tight it was, but I know the initial caution before we went officially agreement checkered, I was able to get a nose under him off of 2. I was able to peak there, and I felt like I had a good enough run to get down there in the next corner, but we ended up having a quick caution. So I do think that if we didn't have that caution right there, I might have been able to have something for him, but overall, he was just faster.
All right, man. Any sponsors you want to thank for tonight's race?
I want to thank all the Vortex guys, and then I also want to thank Austin Johnson for doing it for me. It was definitely looking nice out there.
All right, man. Congratulations on your second place run, and good luck to you in the next race and for the rest of the weekend.
Yep, thank you.
That was Jake Sylvia on the 116, started himself in 4th, and we're going to slide ourselves back into 3rd place. Casey Drake, hold up, excuse me. Casey Drake in number 87, into the booth he goes, and Drake started himself in 16th, and he rounds himself out 3rd, and Drake, you had a penalty in mid-race, so luckily for you, you recovered to a 3rd place finish. How about that, man?
Yeah, it was definitely something. I just joined the session very late, the middle of qualifying, so I had no practice, so it's a really good result finishing 3rd, and especially for one of my first times in the super late model, so it was a really fun race.
Alright, man. Obviously, nobody's, well, except for a couple of people, nobody's really used to this car. How'd you adapt here for tonight?
So at the beginning I was not the fastest, obviously, but throughout the race I kind of learned some lines I could have used, especially on the older tires as we had some green flag runs, kind of dive it down in a little bit deeper and kind of use that little white line to help you turn through the corners.
Alright, man. 10-4. Congratulations on your 3rd place finish here for tonight. Before we let you go, any sponsors want to thank you for this one?
I would just like to thank my team, Miller Motorsports, and all those drivers there.
Alright, man. 10-4. Casey Drake could round himself out 3rd. Thanks for joining us in the booth, and can't wait to talk to you the rest of the season.
Yep, thank you.
That was Casey Drake in the number 87, and otherwise than that, Dewey, we'll scoot it to you, of course, for our classic mid-race, thingy. How'd you think of tonight's race?
Well, like I was saying earlier, it seemed a lot like the Richmond Cup race the other night. We had a lot of early cautions, and then we had that big run, or that big green flag run near the end. But unlike Richmond, we had that green-white checkered, so it bunched the field back up. But overall, despite the amount of cautions we had, it was still a pretty entertaining race.
All right,
I can't wait for the next one.
Yep, 10-4. And otherwise than that, that'll round ourselves out here from KMN, broadcasting USA 100 iSCAR Super Late Model Series. Until next week, I think we'll go to Thompson for 100 laps again, or Lanier for 125. But my name is Ezeckiel Reyes.
And I'm Dewey Stram, as my name is now spelled right there. Thank you for tuning in for tonight's race, and hope to see you back here for the rest of the weekend.